Y'all, the more we find out about the Angie Stone case, the more it starts to look like there is a very high level of cover-up going on here. Because there are a lot of things happening in the case that don't make a shred of sense. Y'all know how they've been telling us that she passed away when the van that she and the rest of her team were in flipped over, but new eyewitnesses are now coming forward to claim that Angie did not pass away from the initial crash, but from the van that rammed into her after she was pulled out from the crash. But that's not all. It turns out that Angie was trying to get out of the van before it crashed. So does this mean that she knew that something was wrong? And where on earth is the truck driver who rammed into her? This drama is insanely shady, so let's break it down. On March 1st, 2025, Angie and her crew were heading back from a Mardi Gras concert in Alabama, cruising down the highway in a Sprinter van. They'd been in town working on a new project, filming in the area, but decided to take a break to soak in the celebration. It was meant to be a quick escape, a little fun before diving back into work. The ride started off like any other, smooth and uneventful, until everything went sideways, literally. Out of nowhere, the van lost control and flipped over. All 9 passengers were scared, but miraculously, no one was critically hurt. Just as they were trying to process what had just happened and reached out for help, the situation took an even darker turn. A semi-truck barreling down the highway at full speed suddenly slammed into the wrecked Sprinter, crushing it on impact. The sheer force of the collision was catastrophic, and unfortunately, Angie didn't survive. She was the only one who lost her life that night, a heartbreaking reality that left her team in shock and her loved ones completely shattered. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a terrible accident, a devastating case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But as the days passed, people couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The more they thought about it, the more the details didn't add up. How did the truck not see the wreckage? Why was it moving so fast in an area where traffic had likely slowed? And why was Angie the only one who didn't make it? Questions turned into theories, and before long, whispers of suspicion started spreading. What started as a tragic accident began to feel like something much more complicated. Then someone who had been in the van that night came forward with a surprising twist. The woman, Sharita Murphy, revealed that the driver of the Sprinter had been speeding. Sharita claimed that Angie told him to slow down, but instead of listening, he sped up, and moments later, the van lost control, flipped, and set off a chain of events that would end in tragedy. According to reports, Sharita Murphy, who was one of the 8 people in the van with Angie Stone, expressed gratitude on her Facebook page. "We are blessed to be alive." She credits Angie Stone's calm demeanor during the ordeal, alleging the van driver's extremely fast driving caused Angie Stone to request he slow down, but he failed to do so, resulting in the van flipping 3 times before being struck by an 18-wheeler and claiming the life of Angie Stone. With this new revelation, what initially seemed like an unfortunate accident now felt far more suspicious. Was this truly just a case of reckless driving gone wrong, or was there something deeper at play? As more people started asking questions, theories began swirling, and soon the mystery surrounding Angie's death only grew darker. Then out of nowhere, a video started making the rounds, and it changed everything. A woman appeared on camera claiming she was the one who had stopped to help Angie. According to her, she and her daughter had been driving down the highway when they spotted the overturned van on the side of the road. Something in her gut told her to stop and check it out, so she pulled over to see if anyone needed help. As she got closer, she could hear people screaming, panicked and injured, but alive, and among them was Angie, who was still breathing.
Were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane, and it looked like it just happened. I pulled over and put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car, and I ran over. It was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out. And I asked if they'd called the cops, and they said we're just trying to get out, and they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around.
She managed to pull Angie out of the van, and for a brief moment, it felt like there was hope. Angie was hurt but alive, and they were trying to figure out their next move, how to get help, how to keep everyone safe. But before they could even think of a plan, the woman felt something rush past her. In an instant, everything changed. Out of nowhere, a massive semi-truck, almost as if it had materialized from thin air, came barreling toward them. Before she could react, it crashed straight into Angie, and just like that, she was gone.
Down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me, but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body. And I got up and I could hear screaming, and I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter. and all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back.
This was strange on so many levels. Think about it. Angie survived the initial crash, was pulled to safety, and then mere moments later was struck again. The odds of that happening naturally are not adding up. The math is not mathing, and the more details that emerge, the more it feels like this wasn't just some bizarre tragic accident. Something about this entire situation isn't sitting right. Oh, but that's not all. The driver of the truck that ran into Angie has also been revealed to have gone missing, and according to one source, nobody can reach him. The source said, "Howdy, I used to work at the same trucking company as the fellow who ran into the Sprinter van that hit Miss Stone while she was being tended to on the side of the road. She was thrown a few yards due to the impact. I don't think he is going to return to work, honestly. This thing has tormented him, and he's not responding to the company's texts or phone calls. My wife reached out to his wife to offer support after we learned he turned in the rig and left. My former boss says his explanation was that he came upon the wreck too fast to make an adjustment to dodge the wreck. As I look at all the details that I have at my disposal, something just doesn't sound right about this. I'm surprised he hadn't been drinking because there is an extensive history of that. Well, I'm not acting as if I'm Perry Mason with the wherewithal to solve a case, just thought I'd reach out. What's more, reports also have it that the driver's route from Mobile to Birmingham didn't necessitate a stop near mile marker 162 unless detoured or directed. FMCSA data shows no mechanical issues reported on the Freightliner prior to March 1. So what exactly was that truck driver doing on that route in the first place? And more importantly, why has he completely disappeared? Nobody seems to know where he is, and that alone is setting off alarm bells. If this was just an accident, why would he go into hiding? At this point, it's feeling less like a tragic coincidence and more like a full-blown cover-up. There are too many unanswered questions, too many details that don't make sense, and not nearly enough transparency. Fans are demanding answers, but all they're getting is silence. Was Angie's death truly just an unfortunate accident, or is there something much bigger, much darker at play? And the real question is, will we ever actually get the truth, or is this one of those cases that will remain a mystery forever? Fans commented, "R.I.P. Angie Stone. Very suspicious death. I'm hurt to learn she survived the initial crash. Wasn't even a crash. The van she was in toppled over into the median and was getting out and helped by another woman, only for a semi to cross the median and run over her. Y'all don't find Angie Stone death suspicious? I wonder how much they are paying the guy driving the truck that plowed into her vehicle. Wasn't she going after them Jews for her catalog? And what makes Angie Stone's passing even more sad is that she was speaking out about injustices in the music industry. And by sad, I mean super suspicious. There's a lot that just doesn't add up here. The speeding van, the driver ignoring Angie when she told him to slow down, the fact that she survived the initial crash only to be struck again moments later, and now the truck driver has vanished. It's all looking real suspicious. But do y'all really think Angie was taken out on purpose, or is this just one of those situations where people are connecting dots that aren't really there? Are we looking at a tragic freak accident, or is there something much deeper going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video.